You are listening to the Stop Binge Eating podcast with Kirsten Sarfty, episode number 146. Welcome to the Stop Binge Eating podcast. It's time for you to end your food obsession and begin feeling confident and in control around food. You are absolutely capable of eliminating binge eating from your life, and I'm going to show you how by giving you simple tools and insights that you can apply in your own life. I'm your host, Kirsten Sarfty. Now let's get to it. Hi, how are you doing? I'm good. I got my second COVID vaccine shot this morning. So exciting. And so far I feel fine. It's been several hours, no symptoms, but we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. All right, now I have a question for you. You want to stop binging, but do you want it enough? If you haven't stopped binging yet, you may question this. People question it when they keep failing at stopping. Maybe they don't want it enough. Now, that could be true, but most of the time, it's not. Whenever one of my group members tells me that, I can almost guarantee that it's not true because they wouldn't have invested their time and money into a program to stop binging if they didn't want it enough. You have to really want something if you're going to do that. So we look into their reasons for why they want to stop binge eating. And I help them verbalize their reasons that are important to them, maybe ones that they just weren't thinking about, or ones that were lurking beneath the surface in their subconscious mind that they weren't fully aware of. Sometimes they need help getting to the real reason. Sometimes they just need me to ask them a few questions to help them uncover it. For them, they do want to stop binge eating enough. There's no doubt about it. That's not why they haven't fully stopped binge eating yet. And it's most likely the same for you if you've listened to this podcast. Most people who binge don't like that they do it. They might even hate it. They don't like what it does to them, and they imagine a much better life would be available for themselves if they stopped. Most people have really good reasons to stop binge eating, and their reasons to stop are more important to them than their reasons to continue doing it. Wanting something enough, especially something that's going to be challenging to get, is important. Stopping binge eating is challenging. So in order to do it, you have to have compelling reasons to do it. There's most likely going to be ups and downs and mistakes and fails along the way. There's going to be new skills to develop and consistent practice in order to master them and become proficient in them. To keep going when those downs, mistakes, and fails happen and when things get hard, you have to have a really important, compelling reason to keep putting in effort. You have to want it enough. Your reasons why you want to stop binging are your motive to put in effort and keep going even when times get tough. So if you're not continuing to try and you see yourself giving up, then it is possible that your reasons to keep going and put in effort might not be compelling enough. But they actually might be. And that's most likely true. And there's something else stopping you from continuing on. It's either your lack of belief in yourself or you don't know what to do. If you're not believing that you can stop binge eating and that all your hard work will be worth it in the end, then you're not going to do it. You're not going to put in effort to do something that you don't believe you can do and that you don't believe will have a payoff in the end. And if you don't know what to do, then you're just going to sit there without a next step, without direction, confused, and no action gets taken. And therefore, no movement and your progress happens. You don't need to know the whole process, what the whole process will look like from start to finish, but you do need to have a next step. And with that, if you do have a next step and it's not working, you keep binging, then you got to figure out why it's not working. You got to troubleshoot. Figure out what you're doing incorrectly or what you're not doing that you need to do or what you're doing that you need to stop doing. Find the obstacle that's in your way. This is so much of what we do in my program. I give you all the things to do. And when you're having trouble doing them, I help you figure out why that is. And then we strategize from there. It's not always as simple as just, here's what you do. And then you go do it successfully every time. If it were, everyone would stop binge eating pretty quickly. I can tell you to allow your urges and not give in to them, but you might have some obstacles in your way that are stopping you from doing that. You might have fears, worries, hesitations, some thoughts about doing that. You might have resistance. You might be lacking awareness of your urges when you're feeling them. And whatever it is that's stopping you from allowing your urges needs to be addressed before you will consistently not give in to your urges. Wanting to stop binge eating enough is an important part of the process, but so is believing you can do it, taking action on your next step, and overcoming obstacles that are holding you back from taking action on the next step. Say that you want $1 million in your bank account really, really badly, but you don't have it. It's not because you don't want it enough. You probably do, but you just can't want it and then sit there waiting for it to come to you. If you don't have it, it's because you don't believe you can get it and you're not taking action to get it. If you believed that you could, you'd do whatever it takes to get it. You'd take the actions, whether it be consistently buying lottery tickets or working for it, which could mean scaling your own business or creating enough value in whoever's business you do work in to work yourself up to a salary that would provide you with enough money to save up $1 million, however you can make it happen. Wanting it enough is an important part of the process, but it's not the only part. It's not the only thing that will get you through an urge. I've had people tell me they think their reasons to stop binge eating aren't good enough because when they feel an urge, their reasons just go out the window. But your reasons to stop binging alone most likely aren't going to be enough to get to the other side of an uncomfortable urge. In that moment, your brain isn't caring about how good you will feel when you stop binging forever. It wants to feel good now. That's what your brain is focused on. It's focused on how good the food will taste and how you won't have to feel the urge anymore. So although it may be helpful to think about why you want to stop binging, what's going to be most helpful in that moment is you thinking about the immediate consequences of binging and being willing to allow yourself to feel uncomfortable while you're feeling the urge without resisting it, but instead being calm and at peace with it, and you committing to your decision to not give in to your urge. Your intentional thoughts while you're allowing the urge need to be focused on what's happening in that moment and what the immediate results will be for you. Thinking about the long-term results can be helpful too, but sometimes it's too easy to dismiss the results that are far away when you're feeling an urge. So if you're not where you want to be in your process of stopping binge eating, first check in to see if you do indeed want it enough. Most likely you do. It's not often that I come across someone who doesn't. And if you do want it enough, figure out what it is that is stopping you. Is it your belief? Is it confusion about what to do next? Or do you know what to do next, but you just haven't figured out why you're not doing it? And I will tell you, you can use episodes from this podcast to help you with any of these. I have a lot of episodes about belief, and you can pretty much pick any episode that you find relevant to you and work on that one thing. And if you still have difficulties, join me in my next coaching program in July 2021. You can find all the info about that at coachker.com/group. All right. So make sure that you do want it enough. And if you do, figure out what it is that's holding you back from making progress and get to work on that. All right. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Stop Binge Eating podcast. If you like what you heard today and you want more, go to coachker.com/free. That's COACHKIR.com/free to get some awesome free stuff to help you stop binge eating.